Hey everybody, in the mood for blackened salmon. Gonna go grab some of our Black Majic. Ooh, it's not good. Change of plan. We're gonna be making a little Black Majic today. We'll grab a jar. Just gotta put it in something. Grab us a little funnel, because don't want to make that big of a mess. And now let's get our spices. But I better break out the old spell book and check out the recipe. Got the book, let's turn to the recipe. Oh, Black Majic. Well, that's easy enough. Get our friend. Oh, keep our book open, so let's go through what we need. A little smoked paprika, onion powder, salt, garlic, black pepper, thyme. All right, we'll get to that. So let's go grab what we need. Smoked salt, basil, garlic powder, cayenne pepper, crushed rosemary, coarse black pepper, onion powder, smoked paprika, dried thyme, a little dill, oregano, and I feel like I might be forgetting one thing. Oh yes, the sugar. Top shelf sugar at that. So we'll gather our mise en place of all our spices and herb, and we'll begin putting together our concoction. And guys, this is a really good blackening seasoning. It works great on fish, chicken, even steak, blackened ribeyes with a little butter after you finish it off. But we are gonna make our quick little seasoning, and it's better than anything gets store-bought. And remember, if you need more of it, you can always double the recipe and make as much as you need. So let's get mixing. All right, guys, well, now we got our spices down. Let's take a second and get them in order, so it just makes it a lot easier and faster. And so you'll know exactly what we're using. We got our smoked paprika, onion powder, smoked salt, garlic, and we got some black pepper, coarse ground is what we like, dried thyme, oregano, crushed rosemary. Now if you can't find crushed rosemary, you can just grab some regular rosemary, you know, regular dried rosemary, take it out. If you have a coffee grinder, put it in there, it'll do a good job. Porter mestle, you can do it with that, or just take your knife and crush, you know, chop it up. It will make a mess, but hey, that's why I like to buy it already done. And we have basil, sugar right here, dill, and then last, cayenne. And we'll go over the cayenne when we start getting everything together. So I just got a regular mason jar and a funnel just to make it easier. One thing I forgot, measuring spoons. All right, now this is a pretty simple recipe. And like I said, you can double it if you want more. Sometimes we triple it and just take brand new smoked paprika, pour it all in, and that's basically 9 tablespoons. But for this, we're making small batch, and that's just fine. So we're going to add 3 tablespoons of our paprika. Not sweet paprika. There is a difference. Got that one done. Next, I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons of onion powder. 1, 2, and then take our smoked salt, and that is 1 teaspoon. And again, we don't use too much salt because again, this is supposed to be a seasoning, give flavor, not to give just salt. A lot of the store-bought blackening seasonings, the #1 ingredient is salt. So again, this is more to give you the flavor with a hint of that salt that's needed, but not to be over salty, because on blackening, you like to cover it and really get that crust. And so a lot of the store-bought ones are way too salty. Just a little tip out there why we like to make our own. Next, we're gonna get a teaspoon of garlic powder, not garlic salt, garlic powder. Then a teaspoon of coarse ground black pepper. Very rarely use fine. If we're going to use a fine pepper, we'll use white pepper. A teaspoon of dried thyme, teaspoon of oregano, holding that a little funny, half teaspoon of our crushed rosemary, And then a half teaspoon of basil. And we like to use the freeze-dried basil, but you can use regular dried basil. And then half teaspoon of dill. I know dill is probably a little different than some blackening seasonings out there, but since we use a lot of blackening on seafood, dill is really nice. And we use the freeze-dried dill. And then a half teaspoon of cayenne. Just give it a little that kick. Now, if you do like it a little spicier, feel free to add a little more, depending on your taste. But at a half teaspoon, it gives a nice little heat, but it's not just like overly spicy. Almost forgot the last thing. Half teaspoon of cane sugar. So once you get all that, take it and shake it. Get everything incorporated. If you did a bigger batch, just put it in a big bowl so you can get a whisk at it, and then funnel it into a jar. So there we go. You can get our other Blackening Majic jar, just because, you know, we like things to match. And we're just gonna fill it up. There we go. All right, guys, that is how simple, fast, and easy you can make some of the best blackening seasoning out there. Just encourage everybody to give it a try. And remember, you can find the website at outdoortestkitchen.org, or follow along the video and you can write it down yourself. Guys, remember, keep camping and keep cooking. Yeah, Master Tim's part.